You're in a better place. Sounds like you're dead. Okay, let me. Where is it? Shut me down. Hello. Oh, I was muted. Okay. Recording. One more.
You know when we need to take our breakfast?
What?
You know when we need to take our breakfast?
It's within 30 days, so they're gonna send you on your externship meeting.
Oh, okay.
Why? You need to clean up?
So I was just asking because
Tell me
time
now.
is already coming up.
Yeah, we're
Tell me
just a
now. You
little
need to
bit
clean up.
We're prepared. We've been ready. We've been waiting for.
Oh, just go, because she can send you.
No, she said she will let us know.
She said she's gonna look for us because we are tired of looking for her every day after day.
And remember, Fridays she's usually just half day here. Okay, let me pull up Clyde's people here. Presentation CE. This one's a PowerPoint, correct, Clyde?
Yeah.
Okay. Open with. Let's do. Okay, let me download it. So it's nice. To screen share. Okay. Let me screen share. Oh, it's not yet. Can you hit the light on your way up front? The clicker. Good morning, pharmacy. Clyde will continue with his presentation, but it's not a continuation of where we left off. It's a continuation for him because I assigned 2 topics for him. Okay, but this is another topic a little bit related to certification because he's going to talk about CEs, continuing education, to keep your certification and your license. Okay. I may have to jump in if I see wrong information in there, or I need to add information because these are important ones. I don't like to cut you off on your presentation. However, these details are important. It will not only come up on your final exam, but it will also be a lot of good information for you when you're to make your final decision on PTCE or ExCPT or how you're gonna get to the next level. Okay, fire away.
So this class is going to be about continuing education, and important to that because you want to maintain your certificate. So some of the following education you need to be informed on is pharmacy law, patient safety, and just general education, which covers a variety of things. And the reason this is important is because it satisfies the requirements of pharmacy technicians. Continuing education helps you to keep current and maintain your skills and knowledge in the pharmacy industry. Because of continuing education, patient outcomes have been improved with new technologies, drugs, and protocols. So on to the first one, or the next.
Does it work? Oh, okay, hang on. You're gonna do slideshow from beginning and then you can start clicking. Perfect.
So first is pharmacy law and regulations. So this is the link, which is the bop.nb.gov, is where you can go to take the pharmacy, take a law quiz. So I underlined a few things here. So you need to pass the quiz with an 80%, and it's only one retake. So you must take in order to, I mentioned earlier, to retain your certificate.
Okay, so this is Nevada specific, huh? What he's talking about right now, okay? You need 1 hour of law to renew your Nevada pharmacy technician license, okay? And here's the requirement, pass the quiz with an 80% and only 1 retake.
So your certificate will be emailed to you. That's something important to know. And retain your certificate for approximately 4 years. And this information here can also be found on this link. Next is.
Ms. J, did you do a CE for law today? For you or for the class?
For me,
Oh, for you, is it for you?
right now.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So the Nevada law CE, that's why you're asking. I thought you had the class do one.
Oh, no, for me.
Okay. See, we also have to do it.
So outside of law, that 1 hour, you also need 1 hour in patient safety. So I posted a link here, which is proce.com, where you can go and take your education on patient safety. And this is just a little detail about the class and what it's going to talk about. So a majority of the continuing education I was looking at, a lot of different sites wanted to charge you anywhere from $50 to $200. I think the only thing mainly that stood out was they have live seminars. So if you're better at, I guess, hearing it from someone else, go ahead and pay that fee.
Okay, let me pause, clarify that part. Okay, you might be overwhelmed. What? Per CE is $50. Okay, the $50 to $200 is a membership. Okay, is a membership, usually an annual fee, so that you can take as many CEs as you want, including live webinars and CE. It's not per CE. If you just want 1 CE at a time, it probably costs between $1, it can be free, to about $6 or $10 per CE. That's why going for memberships with $50 or less is worth it for you guys than paying for individual CEs. Okay, one more clarification. The patient care CE, patient safety CE, is required in your CPhT. To renew your PTCB certification, you must have 20 CEs, 1 hour must be law, and 1 hour must be on patient safety. So you got to look at the category of the CE. And then the other 18, it's whatever topic you're interested in. Is that clear? Okay. But for the Nevada state license, you also need 1 hour of law to renew your Nevada State Board of Pharmacy Technician license. Is that clear? It can be confusing. That's why I do understand why Clyde is not a practicing pharmacy technician yet, or not a practicing pharmacist. So this information, because it's so much, he's gathered whatever he can, but it can be confusing and sometimes wrong. Okay, it's not wrong. He got it right. You need 1 hour CE for patient safety, but that is for PTCB certification, not Nevada license. Is that clear? You need 1 hour of law. That is for both Nevada license and PTCB certification. Okay, PTCB requires 20. The 2 are specific. Clear? Clear? Okay, continue, Clyde. All the information he got is correct. 50 to 200, not per CE, a membership. So it may be worth it because per CE is about $3 to $10 each. So if you go by $10, let's say the most expensive, you only get 5 CEs. So why not pay for the annual membership? Okay.
So that's what you go and take the free. Next one is just a general continuing education. Some things that are highlighted is so the link posted, which is the PTCE.org site. Everything is ACPE accredited and it's free of charge. Highlighted once again is 20 total hours, and these are just some examples of courses that were offered. So everything isn't just 1 hour. So some things were 2 hours of credit, 1.5 hours of credit, and got 1.25, but everything needs to add up into 20. So on that website, the order that is structured in, the ones that are first are the ones that are going to expire soon. However, they continuously renew it. Some things that I posted was like immunization class. There was a disease state management, drug therapy, and diabetes. There was disease state management and just drug therapy, and just a sample of what they offer.
These are very good topics, okay? And it's under the ptcb.org page. Okay, and he also included 20 total CEs, which I mentioned in it. What I failed to mention was it's in 2-year cycle, because we renew every 2 years for PTCB, okay? 2-year anniversary.
So within a 2-year cycle, and just a brief description on what each course talked about here. Well, so a lot of things gotta go through. So
Yeah.
that's the last slide.
That's it. Okay, good job. Thank you. Any questions for Clyde?
So each CE, you get a certificate?
Yes.
Is that it? Oh, and then
Yes.
you just compile
And
it?
then, Ms. J, have they done an e-profile? Have they made an NABP account?
Some of them.
Some of them, okay. So that gets tracked, just so you know, that gets tracked if you have your license number already and then your e-profile number already. Every time you do a CE, it asks you what's your NABP number, and then it asks you what's your date of birth. If you fill that out, it gets automatically uploaded, and it's a tracker. It's a tracker, okay?
And I believe I read the pharmacists can give classes as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Pharmacy schools, sometimes there's live classes at Roseman University. I get informed by that by one of the professors at Roseman. He emails me directly, so I'll let you know once there are stuff like that. Prior to the pandemic, Nevada law or controlled substances are the topics that are being held at Roseman. Okay, let me pull up. You ready, Kaylin? Yes. What's your topic? Let me pull yours. Just one topic for you, right? Okay. Open. You got the clicker? Okay, we'll do slideshow right now, and here we go. Fire away. Fulfillment, Fulfill. Okay, fulfillment. Yes, FUL and then FILL, fulfill, okay?
Step 1.
You're fine.
Getting prescribed medicine. This will typically happen at your doctor's. They will prescribe you medication. Depending regarding your symptoms. This would be handwritten or sent electronically by telephone or fax. Once received, they will the pharmacist will review the prescription to confirm the availability in their pharmacy regarding the dosage, if they have the medication, and if it's covered by the patient's insurance. Next is data entry, and try to explain to me.
Triage.
This is recorded in the database under the patient's profile. A pharmacy staff member. The pharmacist intern or technician can confirm the data entry. And every prescription must be accurately entered regarding the strength, the directions we use must be described and easily interpreted, and the quantity and day supplies should be calculated. And should have the correct prescriber and the name information triage. To triage a claim after the medicine details have been typed in, a pharmacy member must bill the prescription to the patient's insurance plan or have the prescription filled on its cash price designated by the product manufacturer. The prescription insurance makes expensive medicines more affordable and cost-effective. That's important to know. For prescriptions billed to an insurance plan, the patient's copay is determined by the insurance plan, not the pharmacy. The insurance tells the pharmacy what to charge the patient. After that, the pharmacist must check the entered prescription, and a drug utilization review is performed with the pharmacy software to check on the compatibility of the prescribed medicine prior to what the patient is taking. The drug is to be having allergies, if they're taking over-the-counter drugs or supplements. And if you notice any computer flags or alerts, then you should alert the pharmacist. Once that's done, the pharmacist then checks the drug utilization review and sends it out. And throughout this process, the pharmacist will often check prescriptions many times. Regarding if it could be done into the computer system. Next is sending the prescription to fill. In most pharmacies, the pharmacy technician or the pharmacist interns will physically fill the prescriptions. They will prepare the required amount of medication, if it's a tablet, capsule, or liquid. An important thing to know is that the controlled drugs are double counted and initialed by the pharmacy technician and pharmacist. While doing that, they should package the medication in the appropriate size and type of container, whether it's travel resistant or not. And they should insert medication information sheets and medication guides if it's required. They will then place the packaged prescription into the designated area for patient pickup or into the once that's filled, the pharmacist will verify and check the prescription again. And if there's an error made, the prescription is sent back to the pharmacy technician or intern to improve the After that, the prescription is given to the patient via drive-through, in-person pickup, or delivery. By doing that, they must verify that the patient is receiving the prescription, asking for the birth date or the person's name. And if someone other than the patient is picking up a controlled drug, they must check the profile for any permission or photo ID or birthday to establish the relationship, depending on the state laws and policies. And if the payment is due, some insurance providers require the patient to sign a printed or computer form verifying the prescription was fulfilled. Regarding that, if they want patient counseling, the pharmacist will do it, and they'll counsel the patient regarding the drug dosage, if they have any side effects, diet plan, or alternatives.
Okay, let me go back to your slides one by one. Try not to read, huh? Can you go back? So I'll ask you one by one. So step one, okay. Step one, prescribe. The patient is prescribed. We say medicine before we actually become pharmacy technicians or pharmacists, but now we say drugs or we say prescription. Okay, medicine is more household. Okay, your doctor will prescribe medication at the doctor's office. So that's the first step. Okay, so prescriptions can be what? Handwritten, usually in retail, electronically typed on the computer. Today I learned something while I was at my pharmacy site visit. Okay, in the state of Nevada, it was just approved. She said not more than a year. Okay, you know how controlled substances, when you write a prescription for that, you should fax or have a hard copy of it within, I should fax the prescription within 72 hours. You still have to fax the prescription within 72 hours. But the change here in our state is no more prescribing of controlled substances on paper. So they don't carry it to many different pharmacies. Okay, it's e-prescribing now, e-scribing. Okay, so controlled, I'm talking controlled. Okay, this is the part when doctors write what you can scratch prescriptions if they're handwritten, or go to the software and then type in. Prescriptions can be phoned in, okay, faxed as well, not only handwritten, but electronically. Those are all acceptable versions. Next one, review the prescription. The pharmacist will review the prescription or the technician will review the prescription. This I always say. Okay, what do I always say? New prescription is to pharmacist, refill is to pharmacy technician. Right off the bat, when you see it's a new prescription, call the pharmacist. Focus on the refills, call the pharmacist, because the pharmacist will still have to do a review of the completeness, the validity of the prescription. That clear? Okay, remember that. New is to pharmacist, refill is to tech. Next one. Here comes your data or data entry, and then triage the claim. Data entry, that's where if it's a refill, you just put in the software or put it in the system, put in all the information. Okay. If it's new, have the pharmacist take care of it. What happens sometimes is your pharmacist allows you to input the data, such as the name, the date of birth, and all that stuff. And then the pharmacist will come and check for the completeness of the prescription and the validity of the prescription. 2 or 3 days ago, we talked about the validity of prescriptions, right? From C1 to C5 to non-controlled. You have to remember those laws so that you don't fill prescriptions that are already expired. C2, how long is the prescription valid for? 14 days. C1. No, you should not see any C1 in your pharmacies. If you're working in a regular pharmacy, if you're working in a dispensary, yes, you will see marijuana in there, right? C3 to C5, validity of prescription. 6 months, correct. If it's non-controlled maintenance meds, validity 12 months. You have to remember these things, okay? So it's a state-to-state thing as well. Remember that, okay? Pharmacists will check for the completeness. We also have what we call tech check tech. You've been doing this, right? TCT. What's tech check tech? Let's ask Edwin.
Check on the
Okay, you check on what? In other states, this is required, TCT. In our state, it's not required. And what does TCT mean? Tech check tech. So what does that mean?
You verify another tech.
Okay, usually a lead tech verifies the work of another tech to make sure that the prescription is correct, the prescription is filled correctly, and then the final check will still be off of that pharmacist in charge or the pharmacist working with you. Is that clear? Pharmacist check entered. But you have to remember that tech check tech, okay, is a state-to-state regulation. Okay, so if they're not doing it here, they're not doing an illegal thing because it's not required in the state of Nevada. Okay, but many pharmacies are doing that just to help minimize medication errors. Next one. Send the prescription to fill. Okay, when you say send the prescription to fill, why is that? Who are you sending it to? So it's either a tech is filling it or refilling it, a pharmacist is filling it, but sometimes it has to be sent when we're talking about from the doctor's office, right? Send the prescription to fill. So I think this step, if we're talking about doctors, right? After prescribed medication, then on the doctor's end, right? You send it for a fill. But sometimes some pharmacies have to send it for fill to another pharmacy, or if we're talking about satellite pharmacies and main pharmacies. Say, for example, the satellite pharmacies are smaller pharmacies, okay? That's not the main pharmacy. So sometimes they do not have the capability to fill certain medications. So what happens is send the prescription to be filled by the central pharmacy. Okay, that can be a possibility. That's why I said this is not wrong, not entirely wrong, but we're talking on the aspect of the doctor. Yes, after the doctor writes the prescription, what do they ask you as a patient? Where's your pharmacy? Where do I send the prescription, right? Okay, so on the other end, you as the receiving pharmacy technician or pharmacist will have to fill the prescription. And again, check by the tech, check by another tech, check by the pharmacist, depending on which state you're in. And then prescription is given to the patient. And this process is called dispensing. Technically, the term dispensing is only allowed for pharmacists. As technicians, you're not allowed to dispense, okay? You're not allowed to dispense as technicians. Only pharmacists are allowed to dispense, D-I-S-P-E-N-S-E. Ms. L, how come technicians are actually dispensing drugs, right? Okay, here's the work around that, okay? When a technician hands a refill, it should be a refill though, to a patient, okay? That part of their job is cashiering. So they're not really dispensing. That's why as technicians, you still have to ask the patient, do you have any questions about your prescription, even if it's a refill? Because remember, in customer service, our, what do you call that? Our scenario role playing, if that one of the cases is the patient asks, like, do you have any allergies? Right? The technician asked the patient, do you have any allergies? No. And then all of a sudden the patient paused and said, oh, by the way, I had a rash from this new medication. Okay. But even if it's a refill, I still want you to ask the patient for anything that they noticed, right? So do you have any questions for the pharmacist? Counseling is not only during the first fill. Okay. It is required. Counseling is required for new prescriptions. But even on refills, if the patient has questions, give the pharmacist or ask, do you have any questions? No, most of the time if it's a refill, no, I've been taking this for years, right? You'll get that, but it's still worth asking, okay? Because sometimes there's a new prescription with it. But you have to remember this as technicians, new prescription, counseling. Don't even ask. Call your pharmacist to counsel once you see it's a new prescription. Oh, Ms. L, so going back to the term dispense. Technically, legally, technicians are not allowed to dispense. So when asked this technical question, are you allowed to dispense as technicians? No. Only pharmacists are allowed to dispense. How come, Ms. L, they're handing drugs or prescriptions to patients? One, that is 99% most likely a refill. Two, how can they hand that to the patient? So that's considered dispensing, right? They're not counseling, that's technically cashiering, right? So you're just giving. If you're reading, patient asks, right? How do you take this medication? If you're reading from the bottle, you're answering and you're reading for them, that's not considered dispensing or counseling. Can you follow? How many tablets is there? If it says on the bottle for hypertension and you just read it for them, that's technically not considered counseling. Anything that you can read off of the label, your prescription bottle, if you read it to the patient and show it to the patient that you're reading off of it, technically that's not considered counseling or dispensing. You're reading it off, okay? But if you start telling them, you have hyperacidity last night, you should also get over-the-counter Pepto-Bismol. Is that counseling now? Yes, that is counseling now, and you're not allowed to do that as technicians. Is that clear? Okay. I'm trying to clarify these things because your presentation is not just your presentation, it's also part of our lecture, the topics that you're going to be asked, not only on the finals, not only on the PTCE, but on your practice. Okay. And here are the resources that she used. Okay, good job, Kaylin. Okay, who's next? Probably one or two more. If we don't finish today, we still have till tomorrow, and then perfect timing Monday is a fresh start. But you're looking at each other. Who wants to go? You guys are scheduled today anyway. We're delayed because I took so much time on what? On Clyde's, and because they're such good topics. On Clyde's and Leslie's presentations. The three seniors and my sophomore.
I swear I have a long one.
What? You have a long one? Then
I
you
don't
should
think-
go. You got 30 minutes.
I don't know.
No?
No, there's too many details that has to be explained.
You want me to explain?
No.
Or you're
I
gonna
want
explain?
to explain, but there's too many details.
You'll
that
go? Get it over with. Come on. Because I don't know whose file I'm going to pull up.
What was the vote?
It's with me. Where did I put it? The clicker? Oh, I did. Oh, it's right here on the podium. Oh. Let me find yours. The latest one that I have here. Open. Drug disposal for Ashley, and you have another topic, right?
But it's not on a presentation,
That's okay.
and I don't know how to shorten it.
You just have to talk about it, okay? It's still with you. You handed it to me
I handed it to you.
yesterday. I don't know if I got it, like I took it or you took it back. So, okay, let's do this.
I gave it to you, and then you took it.
Okay. But you still have to talk about it, huh? We'll see if we can get there, but finish this presentation first. And then we'll get there. We'll screen number 2. And now it's you. Doesn't work?
Nope.
Okay, hang on. Let me put my clicker first. Okay, there you go.
Okay, so how to dispose of medications properly?
Go ahead. I have to
There
put
we
my,
go.
perfect. I have to put my clicker on the other screen so it works.
Okay, so if you want to dispose of medication and you don't know where, you can call your city, the trash or the recycling services, and ask if there's a drug take back program is available.
Yes.
And then another option is, take an empty prescription bottle, mix the drug with undesirable substance like kitty litter, like used kitty litter. Put a mixture inside of a container with a lid, so like a butter lid, like a butter container. And then for the RX, the bottle label, you can just black out the information, and then it's safe to toss away.
Okay. Where'd you get this? The other option?
The official government website, I forgot where it is. I think it's DEA or Nevada.
Do you have it on your last slide? Like your resources? You have resources on your last slide? Okay, it's okay. Go back. Okay. It is important that you talk about the take back program. Okay.
Yep.
So what is that take back program?
I have a slide.
Perfect.
Okay, so here it is. So you're gonna place it, and then throw it away or scratch out the information.
Go back. I want you to pause right there. Okay, so this is the other option. If you're gonna be the one to dispose off of your medication, we really don't want you dumping it in the sink or in the toilet. Why, Ashley?
Because like it can actually contaminate our water,
Very good.
especially now we're living a drought.
Okay, but the last part is very important. Black out patient information. Okay, tear it off, black it out.
Another, as for controlled substances, the FDA advises to flush out painkillers, mainly because of the highly sought after for their use or their high potential. And then it can result of death from one dose. And then in California, it's illegal to dispose controlled substances in the trash. So like many opiates and opioids are okay to flush down the toilet.
Okay, to go back first. So this medicines or drugs or controlled substances that you have at the middle, these are the drugs that are okay to dispose in the sink and toilet.
Yes.
Okay, so pause right there so they can see. Fentanyl, morphine sulfate, acetaminophen, diazepam, buprenorphine, hydromorphone, methadone, aspirin, oxycodone, sodium oxybate, and hydrocodone bitartrate. These are okay. These drugs are okay to dispose in the sink or in the toilet. Okay. What did you notice about these drugs? What are they mostly?
Like they're mostly opioids.
Opioids and pain meds,
Like
or some
painkillers.
some are controlled in there. Okay, except for acetaminophen and your aspirin. Okay, continue.
So when and why the take back started is common in the environmental method for avoiding improper disposal for unused pharmaceuticals. The DEA started it at 2010 as a response of the epidemic of controlled substance abuse. And it's held semi-annually, so like spring and fall season. And the next date is on October 29th. And then one of the objectives is.
Good announcement. Okay, public service announcement. This is for us.
Yeah, this is like all
All over. Okay, so October 29th, 2022 is the next take back program by the DEA. Okay.
Yeah. But like there are certain locations I wasn't able to find for Nevada.
Usually police stations, fire stations, and then pharmacies.
And one of the other objectives is to avoid disposing by flushing it down the sewage system can cause like water pollution. It is free and anonymous and it also accepts pet medications. And one of the things they do not accept is liquid medication. So why is it important is because it protects poisoning from children and pets, deters misuse in teenagers and adults, and also avoids health problems like accidentally taking too much, wrong medication, or the medications are too old. The medications from enter the water supply, drugs poured down in the sink, flushed down the toilet, and pass through treatment systems into the lakes. And then water treatments generally are not equipped to routinely remove the medications. And so here's an example I found in Arkansas. I cannot find one in Nevada at all. So like these are the drugs that are prescriptions that have been taken back. So it is generally increasing in Arkansas, while Alabama, Louisiana, and Mississippi is just stagnant. It's just a straight line. And then Arkansas is one of the most hard hit states for the drug abuse.
Okay. What is that? 39,000 units?
Yeah.
Or actual prescription bottles or tablet count?
Prescriptions taken back.
Okay. So it doesn't matter how many in a tablet. We're talking bottles.
Yeah, we're talking about bottles.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish there's more examples, but it's really hard to find for those examples.
So your reference mainly is the DEA's website.
Yeah, mostly the DEA.
Very good. Okay. Is this the last slide?
Yeah.
Okay. Good job. See? That's fun. What's your other topic? Because I want to know if I'm going to have you go again or I'll have Edwin go.
So it's like mailing prescriptions.
Mailing?
Yeah.
It has to be back to back. You want to do it now?
I don't
Just
have-
talk about it. No PowerPoint.
I don't know how to shorten it.
No, what have you read? Share what you've read. I don't want you reading from it. You can peek. sentences. I got your paper. Like, what are the rules for mailing drugs? It can be that simple, okay? Don't overthink it. And don't let your anxiety or, what is that? Scared of Miss L? Oh my God, and he said, yeah, I was hoping nobody would say yeah. Jeez, Edwin! I was hoping nobody would say yeah.
Just smiled, Edwin.
You are scared of me. You know, you're double my height.
So like,
Okay, Ashley, let's talk about the rules and the regulations or the laws involved in mailing drugs. Can you just mail any drug? Can you just mail it to somebody or gift it to somebody, or can a pharma? What are the rules that govern the pharmacies when it comes to mailing? Remember, during the pandemic, a lot of our prescriptions, even now, okay, let me share this with you to calm Ashley's nerves while she's reading. Okay. Today, when I did the site inspection with Miss Laura, the pharmacy technician, the lead technician said that because there's so many small pharmacies that are opening now, right? 90% of their prescriptions are still ordered online and delivered. And she said, you're going to think that the pandemic is almost over, or it's over, whatever it is, right? People would want to come out and pick up their prescriptions anymore. Not anymore. They still continued on online, ordering online and getting it delivered straight at their doorsteps, or what, with the gas prices too. I told them with the gas prices, and I said, you offer free delivery? Yes. And I said, because all the small pharmacies offer free delivery, so it's a competition now, right? So depending on your location, she said, we offer free delivery all over the valley. There you go. With the increasing gas prices, the convenience of just getting your prescription. Okay. But the chain stores are different. The chain stores are like, oh, come to the pharmacy. We're real people. We're not filled by robots. Because this happened, they kept saying that when Amazon purchased PillPack. Okay. You know how Amazon automates everything. So that's what CVS, Walgreens, these big chains are saying now. We're real people. We're filling your prescriptions like real people. But they also use automation, just so you know. Okay. Ashley, did I calm your nerves, or did I make you even more worried? Edwin, huh?
I'm good.
Okay. Tell us about it. What are the rules?
All right, so with mailing prescriptions, so a lot of our packages are protected by the Fourth Amendment, which is protection of unlawful search without a warrant. So, but there are often tracked. So
She's just talking US, huh? So we're confined to US. I cannot answer questions on, can we ship prescriptions from here to other countries, to Mexico, to other Latin American countries close to us? Because those are covered by the country's rules and their border regulations. Okay, so, okay, action.
and then as for the USPS is drugs are fall under two terms, so prescription and over the counter. And then as for drug paraphernalia, which is all of the illegal stuff, it is unlawful to mail those. And then as for the
Let me clarify that. That's a good point. Drug paraphernalia. A syringe and a needle is a drug paraphernalia. So you can use that to shoot it up. So here's the thing. You should not be carrying needles and syringes in your cars without a prescription. If you're diabetic, you have a prescription for that, right? So in the past, students would say, Miss Hill, can we bring home needles and syringes to practice for IV? I said, no. Why not? Once you get pulled over, you're carrying that and you don't have a prescription. We use real needles and syringes. We use demo doses for the vials, the ampules, and the other drugs, but our needles and syringes are real. Okay, so no, don't call me from jail. Okay, so here's another fun fact for you guys. If your pharmacy asks you to deliver Drugs, make sure you have the proper documentation. You can't just deliver all these controlled substances without paperwork, where you're gonna deliver, make sure you have your badge that you're working and that you're allowed to do this. Why? If you get pulled over and you got no complete documentation, what are they gonna think? What are the cops gonna think?
Well, you want to steal them.
You stole them, or you're a drug addict. If it's a lot, it's a big delivery.
You're selling,
You're selling your
you're a
trafficker.
dealer.
Yeah. So these are things that you need to think about. Okay. Continue.
And then as for the mailer and the receiver, both have to be identified by the DEA or the FDA. And as for controlled substances, no bag programs are conducted. And for hemp-based products. So hemp-based products will contain CBD and THC concentration, should not be exceeding 0.3 limit mailed domestically. And then shipments of hemp-based products are outlawed in international mail.
Okay, so that's hemp and CBD. There's a limit, right? You always check that because that changes. What else? These are really good information, Ashley. Keep going. Unless that's it.
No, it's just a kind of a lot.
That's okay.
Okay, so
Those are fun facts. Okay, did you find this? Let me help you. Usually we feel 30-day supply, right? Because that's what the insurance will pay for. But what's the maximum that you can send to a patient? How many days supply? Mail order. We have mail order pharmacy, which is a specialty setting. Depending on the insurance, mostly, okay, it's common to see 90-day supply, 3 months. That's common. Of course, 30-day supply is the most common, right? 90-day supply is common, but case-to-case basis, it can go as far as what? 6 months, not a year, 6 months, okay? 90 is common for mail order.
I have seen those mail order. things
See?
for
You've seen those?
prescription,
Okay.
90 days. Yeah.
At Costco, you've seen
90
them
days.
90 days. Usually for military veterans, they're usually 90 days. Okay? As long as they're not controlled.
Mhm.
Okay, controlled is 30 days. And we cannot fill them early. Has to be at least 75% consumed before we could fill them, state by state too. Sometimes they don't fill it earlier than 3 days, the last dose. Okay, so it's a state by state policy. What else?
as for mailing drugs, the package cannot be damaged or dislodged during mailing. And then the packaging also has to be labeled with the prescription number, name, the address of the pharmacy practitioner, and the patient.
All of this good information. It's not so bad, actually. Yeah.
And then,
So she became sick. I think it's because of the presentation. This morning, she was texting me, what is that, 6 in the morning?
yeah, because I
Luckily, I don't sleep.
I actually,
You really got sick? It doesn't seem like you're sick now. I
Yeah.
think it's more nerves, right?
we're a minute. And
You're okay.
And then, any, reports of illegal drugs in there have to be reported immediately. And then undeliverable mail containing drugs and medications are governed by POM 69152.
I don't even know that. I don't even.
I looked that up, it's like, what is this? It's just basically, you have to report it.
These are all good information. I tried to relax you. I tried to make it just conversational. I don't know. You know what? That's in your head now. Is that scary? Edwin, you're double my height. I'm telling you. You just flicked me like that real fast. And you're telling me you're scared of me. This guy. Okay. Right, Ashley? It's not that bad. Yeah, so you're done. Both topics. That's it. And you did a good job. Really good job. Tomorrow, next, he says seniors and Vanessa. Okay. So who goes first tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. I want to finish off with tomorrow. Because I don't want to drag it till Monday. So Monday I can have lecture. I can do a lecture, continuation of the rest of the laws. Okay. And then Tuesday will be the last day that we're doing 1 hour, which means Tuesday is your finals for inventory, correct, Miss J? And then Wednesday, you're gonna get sick and tired of me because that's the start of the 4-hour class. Okay. Because that's my drop off day. I may be late about 10 minutes. So Miss J will be here at 8.
20 minutes. Just kidding.
I try to fly from my son's school to here, and I still don't make it on time. It's like I'm off 8 minutes, 7 minutes. So I told Miss J on the calendar, might be late up to 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, right? See, we even our late or tardy, we plan it. Because we know when we're gonna be late, because we know that we committed to this or that. Okay. So call when you have to, when you're absent or sick, call. Luckily, your group is not fond of absences. Thank you. That's a big thing, especially nowadays. I've seen so many ads saying that they're gonna hire anybody who shows up. Just show up. It tells you something. What does that tell you? People are flakes. People don't show up anymore. Okay, so don't be that person. You're gonna be 10 steps ahead, everybody who shows up right away.
We hire people to do your homework. That's also a weird
Oh
thing.
my,
That's also a weird thing I saw.
I don't even want to hear that. Please don't hire people to do your homework. I will be able to tell. I do it on my clock. Don't do it on Miss J's clock.
I want to be hired.
You want to be hired to do that? People's
I'll do it.
homework. It is a job. I believe you. Okay. Okay. Any more questions? You sure? I'm going to another pharmacy in a little bit. Miss J's Thursday. Miss J doesn't have teach out. We're also finishing up our CE. So you guys gotta do CEs. We gotta do CEs. No questions? Okay. Who goes first tomorrow? Geneva.
I'll go.
Be the big sister.
I'm not.
And then Edwin.
Okay.
You're seniors. And then Vanessa.
No, I'll go first so you can stop me when I'm talking too much.
Oh, no, it's okay. I only had to stop Leslie and Clyde because their topics are good. And then there's so much information about that that's wrong. So I have to correct or highlight those things. Yeah. But I didn't stop Kaylin because that's what the prescription process, which is what you're doing. I didn't stop Ashley, but I had to go back and add more. Okay. So on your lecture packet, I don't have to go over those specific topics because we already did. Yeah, we can skip those topics. Okay, any questions? No questions? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Class is still at 11 for long.